What's up, Gooners? In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play like absolute sweats in each of the positions of the Battleship in ROBLOX Naval Warfare. But before we get into the video, we're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so smash that subscribe button and watch to the very end to help the video grow on YouTube. Now with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. In this video, I'll be covering the 5 main battleship positions, those being the captain, heavy gunner, anti-aircraft gunner, air missile controller, and torpedo controller. Starting off with what is by far the most important position on the battleship, we have the captain. The captain sits in the control room and controls one of the frontal cannons as well as the anti-aircraft guns. It's pretty safe to say that with a bad captain, the battleship performs pretty poorly. In this position, not only do you control the driving of the boat, but you also have access to one of the frontal cannons as well as the anti-aircraft gun, which you can switch between depending on your situation. Something fairly important to mention is that when you switch to the anti-aircraft gun, and if somebody's already in it, they're not going to be able to fire until you switch out. So before you switch into the anti-aircraft gun, make sure there's nobody in it. Unless it's like, of course, a player that doesn't know what they're doing, then by all means just switch. Something pretty important to know as a captain is that if somebody tries to hijack your boat, you're the #1 target. So if you see somebody land on your boat, just use the anti-aircraft gun to try to mow them down. Also, you get to choose the battleship's tactic, so if you see my clip, I'm using a particular tactic. I do plan on making a battleship's tactics video, so stay tuned for that. As the captain, you get to call the shots as to when to attack and when to retreat. This split-second decision generally comes with experience, but you can base it off of the ship's health, the enemy forces, and the skill and number of your crewmates. When driving, always be vigilant of your surroundings to spot approaching enemy ships and aircraft. The binoculars can be very helpful for this. The main role of the heavy gunner is to provide heavy firepower, often to sink enemy ships or to destroy the enemy harbor or islands. As a heavy gunner, you should be targeting the ship that poses the greatest threat, which will usually be either the biggest ship or the closest ship to you. If your torpedo gunner has a skill issue, or is just not there, then target subs when they come up with your cannon. I find that I see a lot of people shooting at planes with the heavy gun when they should really be shooting at boats. Of course, you're gonna miss every time you shoot a plane. Like, it's actually pretty rare to hit them. But yeah, shoot boats, not planes. I mean, obviously if there's no boats to shoot at, sure, go for planes, just shouldn't be the #1 target. When firing at ships, you'll need to adjust your aim for factors like distance, speed, and direction. I do intend on making a tutorial on cannons in the future, so subscribe if you want to see that. At closer ranges, you can use the RPG, if you have it, to pump out some extra damage. Like I said earlier, the cannon can be used for anti-aircraft if there's no ships to shoot at. As an anti-aircraft gunner, you are the main line of defense against enemy aircraft. Without proper AA, the battleship will be decimated by planes. When using the AA turret, you should be constantly on the lookout for enemy planes and start firing at them when they get close enough. Binoculars can be super helpful for spotting at a distance and firing at long range. When firing at incoming planes, aim ahead of them so they run into your bullets. If you've seen my dogfighting guide, this is pretty much the linear firing strat, but in a turret instead of a plane. Nothing annoys me more in this game than when my AA gunners fire at enemy ships instead of incoming planes. The damage your gun does to ships is negligible, so only shoot at planes unless there are none. If you find that you're using the binoculars consistently, make sure you look around often so you don't get tunnel vision like I did here.
Oh no!
Just like with the heavy cannon, you can still use RPG with it. Comment AA if you want me to make a tutorial about the anti-aircraft gun in the future. The air missile is the battleship's second line of defense against aircraft. It is to be used on specific targets, usually the biggest threat. I won't go into depth on its operation because I already have an air missile tutorial, which you should totally check out after this video. The guided torpedo is the battleship's first line of defense against submarines, and usually the only line of defense when the cannons are being operated by the average player. When controlling the guided torpedo, your primary target should be submarines, but if there are none, you can go for boats as well. If you encounter a group of subs underwater and you can't kill them, let your team know immediately via the chat like I've done here. This is naval warfare though, so the response you get may vary. And just like everything else, you can still use the RPG, it's just a little awkward in this position. So, I've heard of 2 extra positions, both of which I have to say are incredibly stupid and you should just avoid them. The first is a sort of guard for the captain, where you pretty much guard the captain from hijackers with your rifle. The other is even dumber. It's called the radar, and you pretty much stand at the highest point and scout with the binoculars. I don't know, but I think most people have eyes, so this role is useless. In each of these roles, you're just gonna get killed by some stray bullet. If you really want to support the battleship and there's no other spots available, just escort it with a destroyer or any other boat. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and comment your crazy Battleship stories. Q&A live stream at 500 subs, so subscribe. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next one.